Welcome back, peeps. Thank you guys for tuning in the Band of Bros channel, where we're always taking a look at new tips and tricks to improve your gameplay in Modern Warfare and Warzone mode. Today, we've got a really interesting video. We're going to be taking a look at how to find your perfect sensitivity settings. All right, there are 5 things in the settings that affect the sensitivity and affect the way that you aim. So we're going into each and every one of them, how each one of them works, and then at the end, hopefully you have a general idea on how to customize this to your preference. Because again, this is not a video where I'm going to tell you put this and this and you're going to be kind of pro. I'm going to tell you how to utilize these settings again to best fit your persona, because everybody uses different settings depending on their personal preferences. And if you do enjoy this kind of content, please like and subscribe and turn the notification bell on. It deeply helps me out a lot. And if you guys didn't know, once we get to 8,000 subscribers, I'm going to be giving away 1 free copy of Call of Duty Cold War. And with that being said, let's jump right into this video. Alright, before we do start off, I just want to mention that I do stream every single time at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Now let's jump right into this puppy. So we're in the settings menu. All right, we're going straight into this puppy. We're diving right in here. So like I mentioned, there are 5 things that affect your sensitivity, right? It's not just your horizontal and your vertical steps. There are different things that affect it. So number 1, we got the Deadzone. What does Deadzone do? Deadzone basically works for players that have a controller. This obviously if you have a controller only. And if your controller is old, or if your controller, I don't know if you guys have noticed, that moves by itself, this is what Deadzone is for. The less you have of the Deadzone, the easier it's going to be to move your control. So let me turn on my webcam here just so you guys can take a look at what I'm saying here. So I'm going to pop that up just so you guys can see. There we go. So Deadzone, if I have it at 0, that means that when I aim my controller right here, when I move my stick, it's going to be a lot more fragile, right? So for example, if my Deadzone would be all the way up here, the detected movement is going to be a lot less. Now, I'm going to show you guys how to find your perfect Deadzone. So what you're going to do is you're going to put the Deadzone all the way to 0. And what you're going to do is grab your, where is it at? This one. You're going to grab your horizontal stick sensitivity. You're going to bump it up all the way to 20. You're going to grab your vertical and bump that all the way up to 20. Now you're going to go back and you're going to see I'm not moving my controller, and my dude is moving, right? Even if I kind of tap it, if I want to tap it back a little bit, like my dude's still moving. That means I have Deadzone. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into options, and I'm going to maybe bump it up a little bit because this was moving quite a bit. So let's go to 0.2. And as you guys can see, it stopped moving. So what you want to do is maybe like move your controller like that. Just kind of tap it to the left or right. And there we go. So apparently my Deadzone should be at 0.02. As you guys can see, it is not moving at all. So that is how you find your Deadzone. Obviously, if it keeps moving, then you jump back in and move it a little bit more. Now, just so I remember, I'm going to bump it back up to 12. Just so you guys know, these are my settings. So my sensitivity, I'm going to bring it back up so you guys can see with the camera. My sensitivity is actually 1212. Now, let's jump into the other ones. Before we jump into the main one of sensitivity, of how you can increase it, let's jump into the other ones. Next up that we got is aim response curve type, all right, which is this one right here. We got a couple different ones. Again, I'm just going to show you guys the basic ones. If you guys do want to check out the video on exactly how each and every one of these works, I'll be putting the video in the screen right now. But if you want the short and simple, the sweet version of it, it's going to be real simple. So for example, the aim response curve type, the way it works is that I'm going to pop my controller right here. It all works on how much input you want the controller to give you. All right. And now let me put that into more basic terms. So when you go from here, which is the 0, right? This is 0% because your controller isn't moving, to 100%, which is going to be all the way to the right. If you have standard, it's going to have an initial percentage, like a gradual build-up speed, right? So for example, if you go from 0 to 100, it's going to take a little, oh my God, sorry. Yeah, it's going to take a little bit of time to get to that 100%. Let's say the computer has it at 10%. So if you go from 0 to 100%, it's going to go 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 until it reaches 100%. Now let's go into linear. What linear does is there is no gradual build-up speed. So if you go from 0 to 50, it's going to go from 0 to 50 immediately. If you go from 0 to 100, it's going to go from 0 to 100 insanely fast. Now, if you got to dynamic, it's a little bit of the best of both worlds. It's not as slow as standard, but it still has a gradual build-up speed. Now, you would be wondering, why wouldn't I just choose linear? Because I want the exact raw movement. Because with the dynamic, I feel you can get a lot more precise shots. Now, for example, if you're aiming like this, and if you got linear, and you move it just a little bit to 50%, your aim is going to go 50%. I mean, insanely fast. But if you want those precise shot and you move your scope just a little bit too much, you don't want your aim going all over the place. So that's why I just feel dynamic might be pretty good. Again, this is just down to your personal preference. If you want raw input, if you want no build-up speed, then go ahead and use linear. Now, next up, let's go into aim assist. Again, if you want a full specific breakdown video showing you how it actually works, I'm going to be putting the video in the link right now. But again, let's just go into it a little bit. Obviously, disabled aim assist, you ain't got no aim assist. Standard, I'm going to show you guys the main differences. With standard, the main difference that you have is that you have hip fire aim assist. So let's say this was a dude right here. And if I would be moving it with aim assist, and my hip fire would basically track him. You know, it would help me kind of slow down my sight. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but sometimes when you're running and then an enemy just like crosses right in front of you, or for example, if you're just dropping from the Warzone plane and a dude dives right in front of you, your aim will kind of follow him. That is because you have standard. If you have standard, again, the hip fire will definitely help you out a lot. Now, let's go ahead into the difference one. Precision and focusing are pretty much the same thing, but I'm going to go ahead and use precision. Precision will not have that hip fire aim assist. So if you're hip fire, there is zero aim assist. Now, let me just clarify one thing. The way aim assist works in this place, it is not like a snap-on thing. So if the target's here and I'm aiming here, my aim won't like go there. You know, it won't go towards the player. There is no snap-on aim assist. What it's going to do is basically if the guy is right here and I'm passing my aim, there's going to be like a little bit of a slowdown when I aim, and then it's going to keep moving. I'm going to move, a slowdown, move. Again, like I said, if you do want to check that out, you can go back and check the video, and I go really in depth with it. This one's just kind of like a quick video showcasing everything that affects your sensitivity. So my decision, just again, the sweet short version with it, if you like to use a lot of hip fire, go ahead and use the standard. If you like to use snipers, more precision scopes, you're a guy that likes to aim down a lot of sights a lot more, then go ahead and use precision. Now, that was basically everything for the settings surrounding that. Now, let's go into the main one, right? What's the best sensitivity out there? Horizontal and vertical. What is the best one? Now, let me just maybe destroy your dreams a little bit. There is no perfect sensitivity out there. I'm not going to tell you, yo, play with 12-12 and you're going to become a god. Play with 6-6 because that's what the pros use and you're going to become a god. That is not the way it works. But obviously, the higher you have your sensitivity and the better you are with it, I mean, if you're aiming here, this is not really going to matter. Whether you have 6 sensitivity or 20 sensitivity, that's why sometimes you can't notice. If a guy's in front of you, that won't matter that much. What matters with the sensitivity is obviously with people that you can't see. So if I'm crossing here and somebody starts shooting me from that way, this 6 sensitivity versus 20, the 20 is going to be a lot faster, definitely. I mean, it's the moving, right? That's definitely going to be a lot faster. The same thing is somebody shooting me from behind, the 20 sensitivity will beat the 6 sensitivity. I mean, there is no way around it. That is just the way it works. I mean, it is the raw input data. So that is why people obviously sometimes prefer to have the high. Oh, look at that. My dead zone is still moving quite a little bit. So that's why I had it at 0.4. But yeah, this thing is going to reset, but I'm going to go ahead and restart. But yeah, well, I keep explaining again, there is no magic pill to the sensitivity. You know, there's some people that prefer the 6. There's some people that prefer the 20. Like I was saying, if you can aim really good with high sensitivities, then you will have the advantage, especially when it comes to turning around faster when somebody's shooting at you than somebody with a lower sensitivity. Now, I'm going to explain to you guys how can you up your sensitivity. When I started playing, I was actually at like 7.7, so it wasn't even that it wasn't even that high. So I actually went bumping it up little by little, and this is the way I did it. For this, I really do think you need multiplayer. If you only have Warzone, it might be a little bit difficult for you to, to change this. But, you still have hope. If you only have Warzone, then go ahead and jump into Plunder. The way you improve your sensitivity and keep increasing it and increasing it and increasing it is going to be by going into a place where there is a lot of action, chaos, which is shoot the ship. I mean, that is basically where people go. And that is where you can definitely improve your aim. The reason why I say if you play Warzone, you can't really increase your sensitivity, it's going to take you a long time. The reason being is because in Warzone, there is not that many fights that often. I mean, you're not fighting every single second of the game. If you're playing shoot the ship, you are. So what does this mean? That means if I'm playing shoot the ship and I'm bumping my sensitivity and I'm practicing my aim and I'm moving like this, I'm going to be getting a lot better by the second. In Warzone, if you're only playing Warzone Battle Royale, the only time you're going to be practicing your sensitivity is when you're in a fight. And again, like I said, that is not that much. So if you have multiplayer, this is the way to do it. Now, again, let's talk about how exactly you do it. So I usually do it like a weekly, 2-weekly basis sort of thing. Like I said, I just started doing this and I'm already at 12 and I started around 7. And what you do is basically like a weekly thing. So you bump it up, right? Let's say you start at 7, you bump it up to 8, and you just grind, shoot the house. You know, you just grind it, and you try to do your best. Now let's go ahead into a little game right here, and you just try to do your best. It may feel a little bit weird at the beginning, but don't give up. Don't be like, man, fuck this shit. You know, it's so fast, I can't control it. Do not, honestly, just don't even listen to that. Sometimes it's going to happen, but that is what you have to do. You have to jump into games and you just have to try your best. Obviously, at first, you're going to be like, yo, this is like insanely fast, right? Like, what am I doing here? You know, this is like insanely fast. But again, you just have to kind of get used to it. You know, get used to those movements. Now, after a week, even if you don't feel comfortable with it, like, go ahead and still bump it up. Even though if you just feel like, man, it's just really fast, man. Like, I cannot move, I cannot control it then. Really? Oh my god, motherfucker. Yeah, like I said, I mean, even though if you just, oh my god, what is going on? Even though if you think it's too fast, never underestimate it. And something that I do have to tell you is, even when you feel like, man, I don't think I have it controlled yet, just still go ahead and do it. I mean, that is one of the most important things that you need to go ahead and do. It's just keep increasing that sensitivity. And like you saw, I mean, I went on a pretty good little streak and I started at 7. There's still some moments when I'm like, man, I don't think I can control my sensitivity. Sometimes it's just a bit too hard. But honestly, go ahead and try it. It's going to be real good. And if you guys want this P90 class, which insanely shreds, I will be putting that in the link in the description as well in the video right now. Fuck, bitch. And yeah, I mean, and as far as the one that aiming down sights sensitivity, that one is more of a personal preference. So I'm gonna show you right here what, oh man, so I'm gonna show you right here. We go into personal preference, and as you guys can see, let me bump this up so you guys can see because my camera is blocking. I got it at 1.15 and 1.10. And I feel that one, do not change that one. Like I have not changed that one at all. Definitely do not move that one around. That one's, it's more for the precise. And look at this, my slow aim. This is pretty fast, so that's why I kind of like the 1.10. It allows me to move fairly fast. And yeah, that's basically it with the video. If you guys do want me to cover anything else, this was kind of like a lot of things in one video. So I mean, if you guys would want me to definitely cover some other things, then let me know down below in the comments, definitely. And again, remember, this was just kind of like the quick version, but if you want the more specific ones, go back in the video and then check out the full versions of how everything works. But thank you everybody for tuning in. I deeply appreciate it. If you guys did enjoy the video, please like and subscribe and turn the notification bell on. Deeply appreciate it. Peace out, everybody, and I'll see you all in the next one. I'm gonna turn this off whenever I die. So if you guys want to stay here until I die, fine. I'm gonna keep rushing, and then whenever I die. Oh, this guy just got wrecked. Oh man! All right, there we go, boys. Peace out, everybody. See you all in the next one.